if you presented me a deal right now, yes, you're in this room, but I don't know you. I don't know anything about you. So don't count those people that you have in your mailing list just because they're there. Make sure that you understand all of your database, understand your capabilities, and then know what you need to do. So being realistic, be open and communicative with your team, because when you are the one raising and you're the one looking at the money coming in the account or not coming in the account, it's a very stressful time. So you mentioned that, I don't want to have the reputation of not performing. Well, that is when you're staying silent, when you're not communicating with your team, that's probably going to be an assumption that they're going to make about you, right?
I actually equate that particular scenario to a tenant who's not paying their rent. So would you rather a tenant come to you and tell you, hey, I'm going to be, 3 or 4 days late in getting the rent to you? Or would you rather they just not tell you that they're paying the rent on the 1st and they don't even tell you that they're going to pay it on the 3rd or the 4th? They just don't say anything. And you try to reach out to them and they ignore you, they don't say anything. And then all of a sudden the money shows up. So for the people who are running that software, who are keeping an eye on the bank account and everything, it's super stressful for them because they're like, okay, do we need to start advertising more? Do we need to go to our list a little bit deeper? Do we need to figure out, like they're trying to figure out how they bring that money, and they're just trying to figure out how do we get that money in the bank account? And meanwhile, it's coming in 3 days, but you just didn't say anything. So just make sure that you're being active. See, she's helping me out. She's rubbing off on me. Communicative. With the team, and they appreciate it just as much as you would appreciate them talking to you about it. If there's any changes in the deal or something like that maybe you need to tell your investors along the way, you would want to know that from them right away. You wouldn't want them to hold that information back either.
If it's a new deal, I don't remember the deal that we offered three deals ago. So if I have to talk about that deal, I'm going to have to go back and review and practice and make sure that I have all the materials in front of me. So same thing when you're doing a new deal, you want to make sure that you're practicing that specific deal, not just because you've done races, you kind of know how to guide that conversation. You don't want to get compliant, because that's when failure happens. So again, this comes from Cardone: role play, and then make sure that you're mastering the information. Again, you're gonna be presenting to a potential investor that you're asking them to give you their hard-earned money. So you want to make sure that you put in the time. And the last strategy here is to follow up. And I make this mistake before. I send an email and then I didn't get a lot of responses. And then I send another email. If you did something and it didn't work, guess what? You need to be doing something different, right? Most importantly, you need to follow up. Put it on your plate that if they're not getting to you, it's because they're out there working really hard to make the money that they're going to be investing, right? So it is up to us as capital raisers or syndicators that we need to be the ones making the initiative. With the grocery store, because we kind of have to, right? And they don't have to come back and be like, hey, do you have groceries for today, right? But that's not the case for us. This is not something that people is going to need. And most people don't even think about, let me look for another investment opportunity. I think I have enough cash in my account, right? Most people is trying to guard their investment and say, and it's our job to educate them and present them with those opportunities. But that's not going to happen if we are not picking up the phone, if you're not sending those emails, if you're not doing all the follow-up. So that will be my last strategy here, to follow up.
And follow up from the point of, if you didn't get a response from 1 or 2 emails, your follow-up should be by a different means. And she alluded to that with a phone call or something like that. Send a video message, send a text, whatever it is you got to do. You send it until the person actually tells you they're not interested in this deal. They don't have to unsubscribe from your list. They don't have to yell in your ear or anything like that. But they can always just say, look, I'm just not interested in this one particular deal right now. Keep me on your list. We've had this a couple of times. Keep me on your list. I still want to see what's going on. I'm just not there right now. I'm not ready at the moment. So, and at that point, you can say, okay, I've done everything I can. But I know Maricela has the concept of, it's my duty to put this opportunity in front of you and try to help you make more money than you can make on your own at the moment. So I'm going to do everything I can do to help you reach your journey.
So the other thing that I will say, this follow-up and this mindset, and then having the thick skin to take the rejection, right? That's part of the sales cycle. We are going to be rejected. We are going to be dismissed. We are going to be, sometimes loudly be like, get out of my life. Stop emailing me. And that's okay. That means that you're doing your job. You're making noise, that you're being present. So unless you're like us, that we are on calls with the Cardone team every single day, and then we're doing all these calls, and then every day we are exercising that muscle of persistence and consistency, it's gonna be really easy to give up when it gets a little hard. I'll tell you that much. So that's when you having a coach, having somebody that is going to overlook what you're doing is going to remember you're not tracking your calls, so you're not, let me hear the conversation you had so that we can give you the feedback, right? We mentor and we coach